Is it better to defer the start of your Social Security benefits or to claim early and invest the money? That is the subject of this video. I'm going to give you 3 important things to know if you are considering investing your Social Security benefits. So this is a very common question. On some of our more popular videos where we provide education on Social Security benefits and the break-even point or the crossover point, one of the very frequent questions that we get is, well, how would this look if we were to start our benefits early and then invest? Wouldn't the investments do better? And so this actually is a pretty complex question, or the answer is more complex than you might think. It's because the answer is, for some people, it may be a great way to go, but for a lot of people, it would actually not be a great way to go. So here are some things to take into consideration. Okay, so the question would be, if you're going to claim your Social Security benefits early and invest them, then that means you don't need that money to live on, right? And so where is your income coming from? So if you're still working and you're earning, then you bump up against the earnings limit. And so now I'm not going to go into the details of how the earnings limit works in this video, but I will have a link below in a video where I go into that in detail. But so the concept is, Social Security was intended or expected to be used in retirement when you've actually stopped working, or at least reached full retirement age, which is for most people nowadays is age 67. So if you start your Social Security benefits before age 67, let's say at 62, you can do that, but you do it at a reduction. So your benefits would be reduced, a permanent reduction of 30%. And that reduction is for life. And so now, while the benefits are reduced, you will have more years of benefits. And for some people, claiming early is going to make sense. But you just want to be really careful with this. So what if you're still working and you don't necessarily need the Social Security benefits to live on, but you would like to claim early and just invest? If you have a pretty good income, your Social Security benefits that you start, they're not going to be consistent because Social Security is going to withhold. You're going to be essentially penalized, and you have to report your earnings to Social Security. And if you don't, it could be delayed, and your benefits could be turned off later. It's not super simple necessarily. Now, when your benefits are either stopped for a period of time because of your earning more than the earnings limit, ultimately those benefits will be re-amortized out over your benefits once you reach full retirement age. But it kind of defeats the whole purpose to take a reduction in benefits only to not really get all of that money to invest. You actually will have significantly less than you think because the earnings limit is going to withhold those benefits. And so for that reason alone, if you're working and earning, it's probably not going to make a lot of sense to claim early and invest. Okay. Now, there are scenarios. Now, let's say that you are able to actually retire. You're ready to retire at age 62. You're not going to be working and earning income, and you have enough income coming in from somewhere. Maybe you have rental income or something that's passive, and you have enough income to live on, and you don't actually need the Social Security benefits to meet your expenses. That's a scenario where it may make more sense because you don't need the income. So you take it, you invest it. Another scenario that may make sense is if you've got a sizable nest egg, meaning you've contributed into a 401k, you have retirement savings. Maybe you've got $500,000, maybe $1 million or $2 million in a 401k or other investment accounts, and you're actually going to retire at 62 or before. Now, there's a really we can build a really strong case where in that scenario, for income, you're actually going to need to take some withdrawals from your investments. So when you're in that scenario, it can, depending on a lot of other factors, it can make sense to start your benefits early because it's going to allow your other assets that are already invested more time to grow. And so there's no earnings limit to worry about. and it's reducing how much you have to take out for. It's really going to extend your portfolio going forward. So it's really a very personal decision. People, a lot of times, they just wish there was just, always do this. This is the best, or this is always going to be better. And it's just not the case. For some people, one way is going to make a lot of sense, and for someone else, it's going to be really the opposite. And so, now, there's other things to take into account. If you claim your Social Security benefits early, there's going to be some taxes most likely involved. And so it could bump you up into higher taxes. And it could also, starting at age 63, it could be affecting your Medicare premiums in the future. So the IRMAA surcharges, Medicare, it starts at 65, but it has a 2-year look back. And so whatever your income is, your modified adjusted gross income at age 63, that's going to, 2 years later, assuming you start Medicare at age 65, is going to determine what your premiums are based on what your income was at age 63. And each year, they're always going to have that 2-year look back. And so I've seen where there have been folks who they start their Social Security benefits early, and it triggers additional taxes they didn't anticipate. Not only did it trigger additional taxes, but then they had the earnings limit kick in, and then it turned off their benefits for several months at a time, and they didn't get as much as they thought they were going to get. Another important consideration is the uncertainty of investments, right? And so if you're going to invest the money, the question would be is how are you going to invest it? If you want to be really conservative, then you're maybe looking at maybe a 5% type of growth rate. The guaranteed growth you'd get in Social Security is higher than that. But let's say you're good at investing and you feel confident in your ability to invest and earn higher returns. There's always an element of risk. How much risk are you comfortable with? What if there's a big market correction at this stage of your life? Can you absorb that, or is that going to throw things off? And so claiming early to invest can be a much more risky situation. If you hit it just right, it could end up being much better for you. But it also, there's many reasons why it may not be. Something else that I hear a lot is that, well, I want to get the bird in hand. I want to take the money while it's available because I don't trust the government, and I know that Social Security is underfunded and it's going to have some issues, which is true. But what I would say to that is I believe that the real risk is that taxes will be higher. The shortfall in fixing Social Security, it's not an insurmountable problem. We have much bigger problems than that in our country and with our federal budget. But I believe the American people will not stand for a 20% or 25% reduction in the benefits. But I think what's going to happen is that taxes will be higher. And so that's where tax planning really makes a big difference when you're looking at a retirement plan going forward. If you'd like more information, I have videos that go into more detail in the description below. You can also go to financialfastlane.com. You can get a comprehensive Social Security report if you're interested in that. But I hope you found some value in this. It is unfortunately complex and very personalized as to what's going to make the best for you in your situation. And so I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Financial Fast Lane.